We've got another question for you from Alex, who's a freshman here.
Hi, I just wanted to ask you a question concerning gay rights, and I know that you're for civil unions, but not necessarily gay marriages. And gay rights is a really divisive issue for people, and they're very steadfast in their views. I wondered how you were going to approach this issue in a way that people are more open to change and more willing to listen to your views on it.
Well, first of all, I think this generation is a lot more open to change. You are agents of change, and you see that there is a direct correlation between how accepting people are of different sexual orientations and age. And so America's moving in the direction of being more accepting. And as one of the younger candidates in this race, I want to be part of that process, and I have in the past. When I was in Illinois, I was one of the lead sponsors of the human rights ordinance there that said non-discrimination is the rule when it comes to jobs, when it comes to housing, when it comes to other basic rights for gays, lesbians, transgender persons. And we now have to, I think, translate those same ideas when it comes to the federal government. You mentioned I'm in favor of civil unions so that same-sex couples can have hospital visitations, can transfer property. I want to make sure that those civil unions are exactly equal when it comes to how the federal government treats people. Right now there are about 1,200 laws that are not applying to people with civil unions, even if those civil unions are recognized by the states. And as President of the United States, I want to change it. But part of my job as President, I think, is to deliver a message that everybody is a part of the American family, not just some people. And obviously, as somebody who is African American, my mother was from Kansas, my father was from Kenya. I grew up in Indonesia. I've got a sister who looks Spanish. I've got a brother-in-law who's Chinese Canadian. I'm very sensitive to making sure that everybody feels a part of America, and that's one of the things that I think I can bring to this presidency. The day I'm inaugurated, the country will look at itself differently and I think be more tolerant.
Senator, I wanted to, again, go to the polling because I think something interesting here. We asked people, are gay rights issues a priority to you in deciding how to vote for president? 56% said yes, and this is a matter of basic civil rights. 43% said not so much. Other issues affect us more. How do you speak to those people? How big a priority is it for you in your campaign? And I'd like you, if you could, to speak to it in the context of the news over the weekend about the gospel singer Donnie McClurkin, who had made some comments about homosexuality that drew controversy. If you could talk about both of those things.
Well, I think it's a priority regardless of the polls. You don't poll whether people get treated equally or not. That is something that you do because it's right. So, when it comes to my attitudes about whether this is a priority or not, I will put it at the top of the list along with many other issues because I think it's the right thing to do. It's true that we had a controversy a while back. A gospel singer was singing at a gospel concert on our behalf. He was one of many, and he had some views that are anti-gay. And, I am disturbed about those views. I said publicly that I disagreed with them. One of the things I also said, though, is we have to reach out to those who have a different attitude on these issues to try to teach. We were talking about faith earlier. One of the things we've been doing is trying to reach out into the African American church community, and I've spoken out forcefully and clearly to African American ministers and African American denominations, saying we've got to get beyond some of the homophobia that still exists in some of these communities. That's part of the job of president, I think, is talking to people, not just telling them what they want to hear, but also telling them what they need to hear.